Hi, it's Claire and welcome to Needle Say More. So I wanted to save some time, so I bought this really nice dress on Vinted because I really like the embroidery, and I thought, oh, it'd be great, I'll have a dress to wear without having to sew everything from scratch. Big mistake. So the fit is really bad and it needs a lot of adjustments, but as I was adjusting it I thought probably other people have this problem as well, so I should make a little tutorial on how you fix it in the hope that it might help someone else with this same dilemma. Let's get started. So this is it on. So the embroidery detail is really nice. Because I bought it on Vinted, I can't return it. So when I first bought it, it did have long sleeves on, but I cut them off. I'll try and attach it back on to show you what the problem was. So the sleeves were skin tight, and this is like a mesh fabric and it had no giving, and I felt like I could not move my arms whatsoever, and it looked awful, like a sausage in a casing. So I cut the sleeves off and thought, oh, that's great, like a little cap. It is a cut edge, but because this fabric doesn't fray, I thought it'd be fine. But then can you see there, it is just completely cutting into my arm and here, and it just doesn't feel nice. And the armhole here just feels quite tight, but the sleeve here, I mean, I haven't been able to do the zip up without any help, but I feel like the sleeve should come in more here because it starts there, and then the armhole here just doesn't feel like it's big enough. It is from Long Tall Sally, so I wish the proportions on the armhole were just a little bit lower because I think it's got a lot of potential. So what I've done to solve this, because the skirt is lovely, it's like an embroidered mesh, like an empire line loose skirt, and the embroidery is really nice. I've cut out in the power mesh, which has got a little tiny bit of stretch, and I'm hoping it will go with the rest of the dress. The sleeves, the puff sleeves from the Now dress by Tilly and the Buttons, because I know I really like this sleeve, and I think maybe having a puff sleeve and taking in a bit here would just give me a little bit more room, because it's almost like it's sitting too far off the shoulder, but then this bit is just cutting in. I need like a bit more volume here. So I'm going to take these off, adjust the armhole slightly and add these on, and I'm going to let you know how I get on. I have cut the sleeves out at the armhole, so these are overlocked in, and because the armhole was a little bit tight, I thought rather than trying to unpick that, I've just cut it out really neatly, and I did the same on this side. So hopefully that'll open up the armhole a little bit more for me. As I'm looking at this, I've laid it really flat, but it looks like the mesh is not exactly the same size as the underlay. It looks much better on this side, it looks much more even here, but here it looks like that is smaller than that, so I might have to do a little bit of neatening over here. So my next step, I'm going to base stitch this to hold the two layers together, and then I'm going to pin in my sleeve. The new sleeves are in, and you can already see it looks so much better and in proportion. So I added in the sleeves that I liked, and I put a bit of elastic around the hem to kind of give a nice puff sleeve, and then I hand stitched, you can see a few little dots there, but I don't think it's noticeable when it's on, and did a better job this side. I hand stitched the overlocking to the back of the dress, just so you wouldn't see any of the seam along this line of power mesh. I think even though I've used different fabrics, because they are similar, so this is like a thick stretchy power mesh, and this is a lighter mesh, but because it's backed, I think it does look part of the dress. I don't think it looks different, and I think it gives a much neater finish. So I'm going to try it on so you can see what it. So this is the dress on. I think the sleeves have just totally transformed it. I feel like having a fuller sleeve looks much more flattering, especially on the waist, because it kind of creates volume here, and this has a slimming effect on the waist alongside kind of the way the embroidery comes down. There is so much more movement, so you can see here the armhole isn't right up cutting in there, it's there because I've taken off where the previous sleeve was, and then I've obviously added on a seam allowance to attach the sleeves here. So I feel like I've got so much more movement in the dress. I was even able to zip it up by myself because I've actually got the ability to move my arms around, which I didn't have before. So the elastic isn't as tight as it could be under the arms because I didn't want to go from one tight sleeve to another. But I think it's okay having a slightly looser sleeve, and I'm just really glad I can move my arms again. So the fit here, across the shoulder, where the armhole is sitting now, looks much better. Like, I'm much happy with that. I don't think that needs adjusting. Across here, there's loads more movement on the front and the back. So I think just changing out the sleeves has totally transformed it. And I think actually I will wear this loads now. So taking that small tweak and changing the sleeves, even though it was a bit of work, has made that I will actually wear this dress now, and I really like it. So it was worth the investment of time. Otherwise it would have just been another dress that sat in my wardrobe that I never got round to wearing, and it's just a waste. And you know, we all deserve better, and our clothes deserve better. So yeah, movable sleeves and a transformed dress. If you like the tutorial, let me know how you got on, and let me know if you've got a similar problem.